Hey everyone. So today's video is going to be about depression and weed, as opposed to myself. Like, I suffer from depression from time to time, and my experience and experimental with marijuana, cannabis, whatever you want to call it, and the effects of it, of what it done to me, my experience in particular. It was interesting, and it was quite remarkable on the effects of of what cannabis does for you and what it can do for you and whatnot when you're going through that sort of episode of that dark depression, that deep dark depression. It was interesting. So for example, there was a time where, my depression just got on top of me. You know what I mean? My depression just really crippled me mentally, not so much physically but mentally, in my mind. I think when you're going through that depression, there's a mental block. People may seem to think, oh, just cheer up or think of something positive, but I think what happens for me personally when I'm going through that hard depression is I just feel like I freeze. I feel like my brain gets blocked or frozen to a point where I can't seem to rationale myself in any sort of sense of morale, to a point of, I have got this, maybe I have got this. With the depression, it's just this numbing block where it's very hard to sort of overcome. It's very hard to sort of find an alternative, think of something that's gonna change your mood like that. It doesn't always work like that. It doesn't, to the simple-minded of people, they think depression is just some whatever. Oh, we'll get down every now and then. But I think with depression, there's just some things that just trigger it off, man. It could be, whatever your personal issues are, whatever your personal problems are, which allows you to battle with depression, and those triggers itself just happens. I have my own personal ones that fuck me up to a point where I'm just like, fuck. And it happened to me not so long ago. To a point where I felt like I had to find an alternative. I had to think of something else, as opposed to just listening or watching the motivational videos or trying to watch something funny to take my mind off it like I used to. As opposed to weed, my alternative was Joey Diaz, the comedian. He's quite funny, quite hilarious. I find him quite interesting to listen to, even whilst a bit high. But yeah, experimenting with weed, what it does. So the experience that I had was like my whole body just got super relaxed. Now, I'm not a drug taker. I don't, I'm not one of those people that use that sort of thing on a regular basis. Like, no, this is something that I decided to take, on a one-off, just to see what the effects would feel like under that dark depression I was under. I mean, that day when I experienced it, you have no idea, man. I was going through some fucked up shit. Do you know what I mean? Some fucked up shit. That I think, it's hard to really sort of, I don't want to be criticized per se, but fuck it, who gives a fuck? But when I experienced the weed that day, I just felt like it distracted me. Like, so for example, I'd put something on the laptop, and then the weed would allow me to sort of really focus on it, and it made me forget about my depression. It's weird. Like, I didn't really feel so down. I felt a bit relaxed. Maybe I was a bit tense. Maybe I just needed a relaxer or something to relax me and ease my mind and ease my muscles. But I was watching something on my laptop, some documentary thing, and it just gave me so much of this focus in regards to what I was watching. I forgot about my depression. I just completely just went, man. And I didn't really feel so much down. And I think when you're depressed, and as soon as you start laughing now, that's the road to sort of recovery, to that sense. You start to feel good. You start to feel them good feelings. You start to feel like there's something worthwhile smiling about. That's the sort of vibe I was getting, and as time went on, getting high, I was just like, nothing really mattered. Do you know what I mean? It was like a personal escape. Now obviously, I don't want to come across like I'm going to be a drug addict or whatever, but to me it was like a personal escape, as opposed to what my issues were, what my problems were. Now my issues and what my problems are not as severe as, you know, the severe poverty that a lot of people are going through in today's world. You know, my personal problems with depression, which I probably will make at a different video. This is a video literally the effects weed has had on me, as opposed to overcoming depression. I will explain at a later video of my dark depression and what caused it and whatnot. But weed has been nothing but positive for myself, for my mental state of mind. You know, I get all creative and shit. It's weird. It's fucking weird, man. You know what I mean? Because when you take it at first, I mean, you know, it packs a punch. You know, depending on, you don't mix it with tobacco, but it packs a punch. And you know, I am sold on the fact that weed has its benefits in regards to mental health. You know, as long as you don't overdo it, as long as you are responsible enough to do it at a certain pace, you'll be fine. Do you know what I mean? This is probably why I like to take trips out to Amsterdam. It's my personal escape. You know, when the darkness of my depression comes and it fucks me up to a point where I just, you know, I have some mad shit come through my head. You know, weed just helps. You know what I mean? I start laughing at stuff. I start remembering good things. My brain becomes so relaxed to a point where negativity doesn't really come into my mind. And as weird as that is, and it was a weird, it was just weird, because I was just like, I was under this deep depression, and I thought, do you know what, fuck it, let me smoke it, let me just see what it does for me. Let me see if it works. So I was Googling it up, and a lot of conflicting stories. Let me just fuck it, you know. I mean, to me personally, I'm depressed anyway, so what the fuck have I got to lose? You know, so I just thought, you know what, let me smoke it. And then, you know, I'd say after what, roughly 20 minutes, my body just started to just be a bit eased, like relaxed and stuff like that. And it was pretty good, to be fair. It was pretty good, man. Watching comedy shows as well made things a lot better, you know, because you, like, when you're that depressed, everything's blocked. All your focus is on your darkness. All your focus when you're depressed is on that sadness. And it's very hard to do it when you have nobody around you, when you don't have a girlfriend around you, you know, when you ain't got family around you. It's really fucking hard, you know, because you're looking for that alternative door for escape. No, there was times where my alternative door for my escape was sometimes other people. You know, you need other people to uplift you. But then after a while, when you live in that sort of state of isolation, it's fucked up. You know, it's really fucked up. It can really, you know, take your mind away. And now I think with this weed, with this marijuana, I don't even know what it was that I got. It was given to me. But whatever it was, it could have been skunk. I don't fucking know. I'm not a weed expert, people. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a weed expert. I've tried lemon haze. I've tried silver haze. LA Confidential, AK. Okay, people, I know I'm mentioning all these names, but I'm not a weed expert in regards to strains and sapphires and all this sort of stuff. I really ain't. Do you know what I mean? I'm only using this weed as a means of help. Do you know what I mean? As a means of help. I have my own personal depression, and it is killing me, but at the same time, I'm using this weed as a means of help. I'm not abusing it. By no means. I'm not abusing it. Do you know? I'm not being like one of those people that don't work and is super lazy or whatever. But I'm using it as a means for medical purposes. Hey, it just came out recently that the UK is a large distributor of cannabis. UK, don't try that shit with me. You know what I mean? But it does help me. You know, it does help me, and I feel like it can help for some of you people as well. Just give it a shot. You know, if you're a person that suffers from depression, whatever the depression may be, try it. You know, just try it. See how it does for you. I've tried alcohol when I'm depressed. That made me worse. Alcohol made me worse. Alcohol did not help me. You know what I mean? Alcohol made me worse. It made me worse while I was drunk, and it made me worse even thinking about it. Because at one point in time, I thought, oh, that's the only escape. Probably alcohol. But then we changed it, man. We changed it. Number one, if I felt like it's a lot more healthier for me. Number two, I just didn't give a shit. I didn't think about my problems at that point. I thought about other things more in a positive. Like, I put my laptop on and I will look at, I don't know, Rotterdam or Amsterdam, and I'll just start smiling. Because that's, to me, them sort of places, that place there is positive for me. Not because of the weed, but it's positive for me in that sense of, I usually have that place as my escape. You know, it's my escape. The UK is not my escape. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm sorry if I didn't go into the scientific side of things, but weed helped my depression, and it still helps it to this day. When I'm depressed and I'm thinking about, you know, crazy stuff, the weed somehow gets in there and relaxes that block. You know, when you're depressed and going for that block, it somehow relaxes the block and allows good shit to come through. It's crazy. You know, I wish a doctor can translate what I'm saying in scientific terms, but all I remember is my body being super relaxed, thinking about good times, thinking about good people, and then they didn't get fucked up. You know, so I thought I'd make this video. I'm gonna make another video, but yeah, this is my video of weed and depression, my story.